He be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying and choking. I really hate this trip, but I gotta look. And conclude, I see myself in that pistol smoke. Fool, I'm not gonna be that little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night and prayers in the street light. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation. All right. Today, I wanted to bring a video. Talk about something I've been thinking about for a while. I usually just think to myself. I don't have a lot of people to talk to about this particular situation. Not situation, but just to pick up the thought that be running through my mind about depression and why some people might be depressed. I've gone through depression. But there's a kind of depression, particularly that I went through, where I was like, perhaps it was just my brain, like telling me my logical side, just like, man, what do you have to be depressed about? This and that, you know. Nobody's life is perfect, but you just look around the world, and there's way many people's lives that are just terrible. And I'm not talking about the kind of depression that where you have a reason, really. Like something horrible happened to you, or someone horrible happened to someone you loved, or just there's a definable reason why bad breakup of some, you know, is a definable reason why you just stuck in this rut and you just hate life. You just hate everything. But the type of depression I'm talking about, where you can't really define it, why you're depressed, why you think this way. And I believe a lot of people go through this. And thinking about it, I feel like the reason is just our society and how we live with no. When I voicing it out loud is different from just thinking it in my head. Like I think about it a lot. I've been thinking about it for years, and it's like you're basically told your entire life what to do and what you should strive for. You know, and either through someone directly telling you, like say a parents or somebody telling you you're going to be a doctor. You know, there's many cultures and many parents that upbring their children like, hey, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, and it's within their culture. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, those people could, when they grow up and become that doctor, that lawyer, that whatever, they could be like, oh, Mom, Dad, thank you for pushing me towards this. But some of the times I would argue that it was like, man, I never got to make my own decision. Never got to come to this on my own or look for something that I truly love. And people are in these lives that they never really chose. And even more subliminally than your parents telling you, like, your environment, TV, internet has grown so much, and it's just telling you that you're supposed to strive to be as rich as you can be and buy a bunch of stuff. And you're supposed, that's the true happiness. Build a lot of money and buy stuff. You know, the most admirable part of that is build a lot of money so you can leave it to your children, leave it to your family. So if you did struggle growing up, they won't have to. But there's a part of that where it's maybe personally, I I'm more of a minimalist. I'm not like, if you think of a minimalist, I'm not exactly that, but I'm more of than the average person. I'm not materialistic. I'm not. If I go buy, if I need some shoes, I'm uh I'm gonna go get me some shoes that I like, and I'll probably wear those shoes for a long time, And people, a lot of people seem to run around, and they have to have clean, fresh shoes when they do certain things. They go out here, they go out there, they need fresh shoes. Whereas, like, the way I think of things is, shoes were meant to put on your feet, so you're not walking around fucking up your feet. You know, walking on glass, rocks, etc. That's all shoes are to me. They're not something pretty to look at, something to collect. I'm not knocking people who do it, but if I'm walking down the street and my shoes aren't clean, I don't care. They're shoes. If they're not falling apart, I'm good. You know, same thing with something like a car. People want to have the nicest, most expensive cars to prove something, maybe to themselves or others, but you would think it's mostly to others. But when I think of a car, I have an old model car that the sun has been beating it to death, and the paint is peeling. But it's not good it's not nice to look at, is my point. But it still runs, gets me to my locations, A to B, safely. Brakes work, radio works, AC works, heat works, doors lock, windows goes up and down. Everything works in it. It's just not new and pretty. And I don't have any fucking payments on it. I love it. It's a car. It gets me to point A to point B comfortably. That's all it is to me. But it's in our society, it's like you have to have the newest, most expensive thing to be, I don't know, to show out somehow. I don't know. And I'm kind of going all over the place, but the depression might come from you not fully exploring what your happiness could be. Ever since you were little, you're directing your life or being directed by others of what life should be based on what you see on TV, based on what what people around you are doing. And you get to that point, and you probably hear stories a lot of people achieving their goals, achieving this thing, like years and years of grinding, and they get there and they're like, man, now what? They don't know what to do then, because all your life you've been struggling. All your life you've been striving to put food on the table, pay these bills, pay this ridiculous car note, these taxes. Just think about life. If you've ever watched a National Geographic, maybe you learned about it in school, of how human beings used to live. It was the main bulk that I might be trying to get to is stress, maybe. Because, like, I'm just thinking, this is not a pre-recorded, written down script. This is just me talking, just like I talk in my head about things. And think about our ancient ancestors. They woke up, probably a typical day in their life. They woke up, looked for food, survived. Back then there were more natural predators, like animals that could kill you. So all they had to do were about surviving, raising their family, teaching their children how to survive, and educating their children. And then when they get old, they become the elders, and their children take care of us. Their children are now doing what they did when they were younger. Maybe a little more to it, but that's the bulk of life. Look at every other animal or mammal around us and how they live. It's a simple life. Life is simple, but the society we've created, the things we've created around us, just think about. We went to the moon. We went to space. We have computers in our hands. life is supposed to be simple, but we make it so complicated. We stress. The stress is never ending, and the way our society has evolved. Taxes. You gotta raise some children. You gotta worry about this, and this, and this, and this. When you raise a child, when you're growing up yourself and being an adult, as an adult, you gotta worry about this, and this, and this, and this, and it's just weighing down on you. And people worry about trivial things, and really, I don't know. It's just life is simple, and we make it so like our society has evolved to in such a fast rate that we don't know how to live in that. You know what I mean? Like, for however many years ago, wasn't probably that long ago, just hundreds of years ago, thousands even, where just life was simple. Like I just mentioned, you grow up, your parents teach you how to survive, and now you're an adult and you implement those teachings, hunting, building shelters, yada yada, and then raising your children to the same effect, and then you become the elders and they take care of you, and then you pass away. It's supposed to be simple, and it is, and it was simple, but compare that to now, to all the things you have to worry about now, just the added stress of living, just living. And that's why I believe the bulk of unknown depression comes from, what I call it unknown depression, where you can't pinpoint why you're just this way, why you just depressed about life, because you haven't found that thing that really drives you. Because all the things you see on the internet or TV, or what you've been told by adults ever since you were little, that's basically told your head where you should be going, but you never really sat down and thought about where should I be going, what really drives me, what makes me happy. And then you're here, you're stressed to the brink, and you're depressed, and you're like, fuck, I don't like living. My goal personally in life, one of them anyway, is to get to a point where I'm like, I'm happy that I was born. I'm not, at this moment, I don't feel depressed. It comes and goes. But yeah, that's where a point where I'm like, I am intensely happy that I was born. I'm not there yet. I'm not unhappy particularly, but I want to get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I got to experience life. And I've been thinking that it's possibly just doing what we were meant to do, just like any other mammal, any other animal on this planet, which we are animals, which is live, procreate, teach your children, and then grow old and see your children grow and you pass away. That's life. That's life. And like I said, we've made it so complicated with society. This is just head talk. Like I said, I don't have a script, so I don't know where else to go with this at this point. That's all my thoughts on it.